Hi there, my name's Carolyn Dunn and I'm a dot mandala artist and I'd love to welcome you to my channel. Today we're going to be working on this beautiful mirror. I've finished the back and I've laid my piece out with 64 sections. This is the color palette for our new project we're working on. These metallic colors in the pearls are in pink, rose quartz, hot pink, royal purple, lilac, turquoise, glacier blue, pearl white, and the Aztec gold. And we'll be thinning these paints with Liquitex pouring medium to get them to a good consistency for dotting. So we're going to start with the Aztec gold, the large end of the white tool. Now you can try to maintain a certain number of dots in each section, but if you start getting off, don't worry about it. Just go all the way around with similar sized dots, and as you get near the end, you'll be able to adjust as you need to make it all look the same. Now we're using the large end of the white tool again, and we're just finishing up this round of hot pink dots beside the Aztec gold ones. Now we're switching over to the large end of the blue tool and we're putting in those nice pearl rose quartz dots. After giving this pink a stir, we're going to use the large end of the blue tool to create another row of dots in that lighter color of pink. Now we're going in with the pearl lilac. I'm going to start with the blue tool and see how that goes. And now we'll go in with the pearl royal purple. And I think I'm going to stick with the blue. And now we're going to start some flowers. We'll be using the turquoise paint and the number 24 tool to lay down those flowers on every fourth line. Our first row of petals will be in glacier blue and we'll be using the large end of the white tool. And we'll walk those dots down with the large end of the white tool as well. Moving on to our next row of dots, we're using the large end of the blue tool for both the uppermost dot and to walk the dots. And the paint we're using is pearl rose quartz. And we'll use the large end of the blue tool to bring those dots down. For our third row of dots, we'll be using the pearl hot pink and the large end of the green tool to create the uppermost dots and to walk those dots down. So I've traced some diamond shapes for my mirrors. We're going to create some swooshes around them just using our dotting tools, the styluses. So I'm using the large end of the blue tool to create these first swooshes. And then I use the small end to get down. Oops.
to get down to the bottom.
In the rose quartz. And from time to time, just have a look around to make sure that your swooshes are staying consistent with the other ones in size and width and that.
Okay, we're going to go in with the turquoise now. Again, using the large end of the blue tool. And we're going to create some more swooshes. We're going to come down a little bit lower now. And I want to get right next to that pink paint. Alright, so now we're going to go in with the royal purple and create our third swoosh there. Again, using the large end of the blue tool. Okay, now for the gold.
And we're using the large end of the white tool to draw this swoosh down. Okay, so let's place some pearl white dots between the flowers and the swooshes, and we'll be using the number 7 tool. Oops, forgot one. All right, it's time for a round of turquoise dots. And we're going to use the number 5 tool and create these dots in a circle all the way around.
"24" in the royal purple. Beautiful.
Hey there, while you were sleeping, I put in some more rows of dots. The first row was in pearl pink and using the large end of the white tool, and the second row of dots is in the glacier blue using the large end of the blue tool.
Okay, moving onward, we're going to go in with our turquoise on this last row of dots. Okay, and now we'll walk those dots. So I'm just tracing out the little diamonds here, and I put them on the center line, and then I just match up the two sides with the line. And just so we can see what the diamonds are going to look like in there. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to do the same type of thing here, where we're going to come in with some swooshes, and then I want to put a row of hot pink along there. Okay, so this paint is still wet, and I don't want to get into that when I'm trying to do my swooshes. So instead, we'll go along and we'll do our hot pink, a row of hot pink, number 6. Now we're using the number 24 tool, and we're going to place some turquoise dots in here. And just repeating the pattern.
So now we're repeating that first row. So we're going in with the glacier blue and the large end of the white stylus to create those dots and to run the dots down as well. Okay, let's take a break from walking the dots and let's put in some top dots now. We're going in with the glacier blue using the number 15 tool. And let's pop a few bubbles. You know the drill by now. Second row of dots, rose quartz, and large end of the blue tool. Okay, so our last round of dots is in hot pink, and we'll be using the large end of the green tool. And we're just going to be starting right here at the top. Now we're going to top dot the royal purple dots with the pearl lilac dots, and we'll be using the number 15 tool to do that. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, now we're going to go in and top dot those last turquoise dots. We'll use the number 15 tool and the glacier blue paint. And I know I haven't mentioned it lately, but we'll be doing it all the way around. Okay, it's time to go back to the second row and to add our swooshes that will be on either side of the little diamond mirrors. We'll be using the large end of the blue tool to start it and use the small end to drag it down if need be. And we'll be using the glacier blue paint.
Okay, on to the hot pink. We're hoping that they are dry enough now for this.
Okay, so let's let that dry, and we'll move on and do some top dots on top dots in the meantime. We'll go to the first row of flowers, and we're going to put turquoise dots on top of the glacier blue using the number 9 tool here. Yeah, that really brings that forward. And we might as well do that outer row while we've got the paint out.
Okay, now we're going to go in with the royal purple. Let's start here, shall we?
We'll come back with the gold when that's dry.
Got to kind of give yourself room to rest your hand on something.
Now again, this third row is simply a repeat of the first row, other than change in tool size as we get to the gold. So we'll speed up a little bit through this, shall we? Let's get those royal purple top dots done using the number 9 tool.
All the way around. Time for turquoise. Let's do some gold.
And because we have more real estate now, we're going to use the large end of the blue tool.
Okay, purple. Gosh, I'm wondering if I even just go in with green. Let's give that a try. We have the space, why not? There. I think we'll put some white dots in. We could actually do that now without getting our hands in the paint, of course. 9. We just have to make sure it will fit all the way around. And I believe it will. There we are, all the way around.
Okay, on to our last swoosh on the last row. And this is in the Aztec gold. And we're using the green tool again because we have plenty of space to use it. Okay, and around we go. Now we're placing tiny purple dots at the top of those swooshes using the number 9 tool and just a gentle touch down.
Okay, time to add our purple dots.
And for these inner rows, we're using the number 7 tool. Okay, so now I'm going to sketch in some curlicues. I don't know what else to call them. And we're going to be dotting those in the turquoise. And I'm also sketching in some guidelines for some walking of the dots from the midpoint of the purple dot to just the base of that 3rd dot down. And this can be done more accurately with a circle stencil, which I do show later on. And this is the stencil method.
First of all, I just drew it in freehand, but then I thought, well, I'll just check. And then, so if you take something like this, you know, I just sort of went, okay, I want to meet at the 3rd, below the 3rd dot. You know, that's assuming that your dots are all essentially the same all the way around, which they aren't. But you could do this, and that would make it much more accurate for you. And I did it all the way around. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our pearl white paint and we're just going to start dotting from here. We'll do single dots and then we'll walk them from there. I'm thinking the blue will be the best. And I realized that I forgot to do something, which is very important. And we're going to do it right after this. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
What I forgot to do was to brush off any excess chalk where I've used the chalk pencil to create my guidelines, just so my paint will adhere.
So we just want to brush our chalk marks. There we are. Now I will probably go all the way around the right hand side first. Okay, all the way around on the right hand side. I have to let that dry, but we do have these little curlicues that we're going to work on.
On to the curlicues. So we're using the small end of the pink tool and we're just going to dot these. And it's not really a walking of the dots, just single dots until you get down near that curlicue and the last maybe 3 or 4 dots. Then you can walk those dots down in the turquoise.
Okay, let's work on getting the rest of these white dots in. Just sketching in where I'd like to put some swooshes. I'm really liking how this is turning out. I always go through a period when I'm doing these where I'm like, oh, I hate it. Go sand it off, husband. Brian, come and help me out here. I need a fresh start. But then it comes to the point where I see it coming together. My vision from the beginning, which, as you know, I don't always have one. I love creating these videos. Sometimes during the day it's a little hard because there's people around and there's dogs. And so sometimes in the middle of the night, like right now, I get up and I paint. Does anybody else do that? We just have to do. You'll hear me sometimes say, just do it. Right now, I'm going to do pink swooshes in hot pink. I'm using the large end of the green tool, see if that works for us. And let's just do it. Needs a lot of paint in there. And we want to make sure with this first one we get it right, because all the others are going to have to look like this. So I want to drag that one in a little bit closer. There we go. Now we'll bring one from the other side. And we're sort of at that first dot there. The first one on the way down is where we're starting. Lots of paint. And again, I want to drag that down a little bit further. Yeah, I like it. I believe that's just what this needed. I'm really happy with the colors. Well, you knew that if you've seen my last video. You knew that I was happy with these Arteza metallic paints. So I just had to do another one. And I love that this paint has a bit of body to it too. It doesn't just flatten right out, you know. I'm very excited to be getting this done because I want to varnish it and then be able to put the mirrors on and see how that is. Now think along with me. Is this an unfinished edge, or should I put something along there? This is a piece where I don't want to leave a lot of negative space. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Yeah, these swooshes I'm loving. They're a perfect addition. It just needed a little something extra. Again, the second dot, and we're going from there. Only this time we're in turquoise and still using the large end of the green tool.
Okay, as you can see, I decided to walk some dots on either side of the top of the swooshes at the outer rim. I used the large end of the pink tool to do this, but unfortunately most of it didn't quite get in the shot. So there it is. And to finish that off, we're going to use the large end of the pink tool and drag some swooshes just as we did in the previous rows, and they will be in hot pink. And now we'll place our last swooshes using the large end of the blue tool in Pearl Royal Purple. Gorgeous. Okay, we're going to top dot those white dots, and on the inner row we're using Pearl Pink, and we're using the number 5 tool to create the top dots there.
For the middle row, we're going to be using that Glacier Blue.
Using the number 5 tool again. And now we're going in with the Pearl Pink to do our last top dots, and we are using the number 6 tool for these dots.
All right, my friends, that could very possibly be the end of the painting. So, of course, we'll wait for that to dry and get rid of the guidelines and see if we have any tidy up to do. Okay, and then envision it varnished, big mirror in the middle, and all my little diamond mirrors around the edges. Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful. Okay, it's varnish time, and again we're using Liquitex High Gloss Varnish, my 3-inch high density foam brush, and piece of paper towel. Okay, let's just start along there.
And I'll add 2 more coats of varnish.
It's very exciting. It's time to put our mirrors on. So I think what I'm going to do is start with the inner circle of mirrors and work my way out. And at the end, we'll place the center mirror. So for these inner mirrors, I use Gorilla Super Glue, just that tiny little tube. Typically, I just put some on the base of this and then place it on.
We'll add a little dab of glue to the back and gently and carefully place it in the appropriate spot. And we'll do the same thing all the way around and for all 3 rows.
And then just make sure that your hands are glue free. Otherwise, when you press down, you will get some glue on it. One more. Last one, I think. Make sure it's not like the forgotten mirror. Okay, all the way around here. All the way around here. And all the way around here. Look at this beautiful mirror coming together. Okay, and lastly, we just need the big mirror. Now the big mirror I got from Hobby Lobby. It says 12 inches. It's actually 11.75 inches, or it's got a beveled edge, so that's beautiful. So we'll just let this set for just a minute and then we'll move forward on placing the big one. Okay, it's finally time for the large mirror to be placed on there. Now I've already placed it to make sure that it's going to fit properly, and it will. So I'm going to turn it over here, and I've given it a clean as well. So again, the 2 glues I'm using are a little bit of Gorilla Super Glue and the E6000. So I'm just placing spots of the super glue so that when I get it there, then it'll adhere to those spots quickly. And then the other one just takes a little bit more time, not long. That's it for the super glue. Now the E6000. Now, which can be stringy, so be careful not to get it on your piece at all. And we're just gonna start putting some on. You don't want it too close to the edge because you don't want it to come out. But this will be plenty to hold this mirror in place. Okay, so now we're going to turn this over and we're going to place it to be as directly over it as I can be. Okay, and then you want to make sure that your black around it is even, and right now it looks pretty darn even, so I'm just going to do a little pressing. What do we think about that? Look at that beautiful mirror. That would look perfect in some little princess's room, wouldn't it? What a beautiful array of colors. I love it.
Okay, to help this set, first I'm going to put some parchment paper down on my mirror so it doesn't get scratched. And then I have a box of journals that has a bit of weight to it, so I add that on top. I leave that overnight, and by the next day, tomorrow, we'll be able to put on the D-ring, hang it, and take some beautiful pictures. And now I present to you our beautiful mandala mirror entitled Believe in Yourself. And there she is in all her beauty. Just gorgeous. And our beautiful mirror is finished. Gorgeous. Once again, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. I'm very grateful for all the support I get. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. I'd love it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you at the next one. And remember to keep on dotting.